Hey, is this you? Are you one of those gibbous-wearing scouts that are bad at the game? Do you constantly find yourself getting miraculously killed and murdered by other players? And don't you find it that most scout tutorials are fucking boring? Fear not, dear viewer, for I am your savior in these trying times of trying to be a scout main in the year 2020. I'm not saying that you'll be a certified pro after this video, but you'll at least be decent. So, without further ado, let's make you decent at Scout from TF2. Tip number 1. Scout is a glass cannon. For you see, Scout is a class that doesn't have a lot of health, and he can die very quickly. However, he can also take out enemies very quickly, hence why he is called a glass cannon. Now, you might be thinking, oh yeah, no shit, he dies quickly. But how do I not die quickly? Tip 2, be a healthy boy. When your health is below 101, you could pretty much almost get insta-killed by most classes, especially classes like the Demo Man and Soldier. So it's best to remember where on the map health is and to get it when you're that low on health. Now you might be thinking, well, hold on, we got a medic on our team. I don't need to run all the way to get health. I could just ask him for help. Tip number 3. Get your own health. A good medic will be healing classes that are much slower than you, the scout. Classes like the heavy are going to be a bit too preoccupied shooting and are a bit too slow to run out of harm's way to get some health. You, on the other hand, have enough speed and agility to go get health yourself. Now, you might be saying, even with that healthy tip, I'm still finding myself getting killed by enemies a lot. What do I do? Well, first of all, you might be targeting the wrong enemies. Tip number 4, don't fight Pyros. Not only are Pyros effective at close range, but it's very easy to aim in and hit targets with the flamethrower. And since you already don't have a lot of health, when you do get hit, you're going to die very quickly thanks to the afterburn. Tip number 5, don't fight heavies. Heavies have a lot of health, and they do a lot of damage. They also do that damage very, very quickly. So if you see a heavy, don't try to fight it head on. You will lose. You are the scout. Run the fuck away. Remember, your best ability is your speed in movement. Use it. Tip number 6. Don't fight groups. One of the worst things you could do as a scout is run into an enemy group and try to take them on. Trust me, you will lose. Okay, this seems to be cutting me out of a lot of killing opportunities. What should I kill? Tip number 7. Target medics. Medics are very weak, but they are very useful due to the fact they can heal. Taking them out could strike a crucial blow to the other team. Without the enemy medic, your enemies might be left severely weak because they're not getting healed and will be easier to pick off. Tip number 8. Target snipers. Snipers can easily pick off important team members like the Heavy, Demo Man, and Soldier with such a simple hit if they're good enough. However, if you've ever played a shooter, you know the faster the target, the harder they are to shoot. Use your speed abilities and jumping abilities to overwhelm a sniper. Or you could just catch them distracted and just shoot them like that, like bam, dead. Tip number 9, target spies. Spies have the ability to backstab opponents and kill them instantly. This can take down a good medic or a good heavy in just seconds. However, this comes with the caveat that they're not too fast and they're rather weak. I'm not saying that you need to spy check fellow players, although that wouldn't be too detrimental considering you could just run off and get more ammo very quickly. Don't let spies run off either. As the scout, you can take them out very easily. Well, are you telling me that all I have to do all day is kill some medics, snipers, and spies? Dude, not only is that way too easy, but it's kind of boring. Do not fret, for I have a few tips that might help you with pyros and even heavies. Tip number 10. Pick off the weak. If you ever see an enemy that looks like they're taking a lot of damage, go after them. Sure, it could very much be possible that they're going to die soon anyways. That, or they could be very close to killing a fellow ally. An ally that might not be doing too good on health themselves. Also, chances are when an enemy is on fire, they're going to want to go to health, so pick them off quickly so they don't do that. Tip number 11. Get them in the back. When you think about it, this is kind of a useful tip for any class. Obviously, shooting someone where they can't see you would be very useful. But for you see, the scout can very easily get to the back of players due to his speed. In a weird way, it might be best to target enemies like the spy in their back when they're not looking at you. And that's kind of funny considering who scout is related to. I guess in this case, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Tip number 12, the man milk. One thing that makes playing the scout funner for me is using the man milk. Not only can it save you from the flames of a pyro, but it has other advantages as well. Not only can you save other players from the flames of an enemy pyro, but when an enemy is drenched in man milk, you can shoot them and you'll get health from it. This also applies to your fellow teammates as well. So not only can you help yourself with the man milk, you can help others with it as well. Now hold on, Deviant Crow. This is all useful, but the scattergun isn't very useful of a weapon, isn't it? I try myself to keep a good distance away from my enemies and try shooting them to death, but apparently that's not doing a lot of damage. I guess the scattergun is just not a good weapon, and the scout isn't a good class either. Tip number 13, the scattergun is like a shotgun, you fucking I can't tell you how many fucking times I've seen scouts try to use the scattergun at mid to high range. It is annoying. The scattergun is like a shotgun, a close range weapon. You gotta get on your enemy's ass to kill them. Sure, mid-range might be great for weaker enemies you might want to keep distance away from, but overall, you're going to want to get pretty close to your enemies. Yes, that is risky, but however, that's the most effective way of killing enemies. You have to take risks. Trying to shoot enemies at mid-range not only does piss poor damage, but it gives your enemy more time to shoot you. Even if you're using the scout's speed and jumping, shooting your enemies at mid-range is not going to be very effective because eventually they're going to get a good few shots on you since you're wasting your time doing piss poor damage. Technically, if you wanted to take enemies from mid-range just in case, then you would use the pistol. But even then, I wouldn't recommend the pistol since that does piss poor damage as well. The best strategy to play as a scout is just like the scout's personality, brash and in your face. That is the whole point of a glass cannon character like the scout. Very risky character to use, but once you master it, it can be very effective. The scout is a high risk and high reward character. If you do not take the high risk, you do not get the higher reward. Here are some bonus tips that are also useful but don't deserve their own category. Demo Knights can outspeed scouts, so the best thing to do is to try to avoid their straight narrow path or just avoid them altogether, which is what I do. Of course, the tip of getting them in the back and getting them while they're weak also applies here. If you see enemy buildings like teleporters or dispensers, destroy them. You can do it very quickly. It is best to avoid sentries. They can kill you very quickly. Classes like the Spy, the Demo Man, even in some cases the Soldier and the Sniper are much more suited for the job of taking down sentries. Scouts can capture control points much faster than other classes, so if you're on a game with control points, be sure to capture them. And finally, this goes along with the whole getting health thing. On payload mats, you know the payload cart? Yeah, that actually heals you. It's not exceptionally fast, but it's good enough for if you need to hide behind it and get some health, that'd be pretty useful. Congratulations! Now you are no longer a shitty scout main. Now you are a decent scout main, maybe even a great scout main one day. Hopefully aiming wasn't a problem for you, because I can't help you with that one. You're fucked on that. No longer shall you have teammates screaming at you for doing so poorly and saying things like, "God fucking damn it, Scout! You stupid piece of shit! Learn how to play the fucking game! What are you, fucking 12? God fucking damn it! You just lost it's a whole goddamn round because you were pissing off in a corner, missing all your shots! We lost, and it's all your fault, plus the medics, but it's mainly your fault! This is why your dad left for milk and never came back, you piece of shit! I have reached maximum angry! I'm about to use a racial slur! Thank you for watching the video, and if you liked it, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out these links. If you want to tip me, you could go check out my Ko-Fi. If you want to vote for the next video, go to my Twitter. If you want to get some merch with my face on it, go to my merch store. And if you want to get to watch videos early while supporting the channel, go check out my Patreon. Also, the artist that made the OCs in this video is not me. It is Benny Bunny. So go check him out on Twitter. Also, feel free to come down to my Discord with the link down below. New videos are uploaded every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And don't forget to love yourself.